pretty much setting up for my trip. This car is going out to Detroit, Michigan. And we're currently in New Jersey. And yeah, I'm just going to get in and drive it there. And I'm trading another car, so I'll be driving my next vehicle home. So yeah. Got my fingers crossed. I think it'll make it. I don't think I'm going to run into a lot of issues. It's just a long drive. Looking at roughly about 10 hours. So I got faith in her. See if we make it. Not exactly sure what mile marker this is, but I'm about 150-ish miles into Pennsylvania, and I'm just driving down the road, and all of a sudden the car sounded like a Hemi Cuda, and I was like, that's kind of strange. I could have sworn that this was a lot quieter about a couple seconds ago. I'll start it up. Yeah, that's not good. And I don't want to listen to that for hours at a time. So I went under the hood and took a look, and by the looks of it, the exhaust pipe, where it bolts up onto the manifold, it appeared as loose somehow. It got itself loose. So I'm gonna jack the car up and see if I can get under there, or maybe squeeze my hand through here and see if I could try and tighten that piece. But aside from that, no real problems. The car still runs and drives, and it's been a pretty comfortable ride most of the way. But got my tools out. I think I'll dig into that. Can't really see it, but the look closely, you can see the starter wire dangling down. It came apart. So, yep. Oh, poor baby. Almost made it. Almost made it to at least. Almost made it to Ohio. We'll get her towed and try and fix it in the morning. Alright, current situation. I'm in Youngstown, Ohio. Car's getting offloaded off of a flatbed. So luckily I found a hotel. I had it towed 100 miles. There's a Wendy's across the way for me to eat at. There's a Denny's over there. And up the road there's a Pep Boys and Advanced Auto Parts. And hopefully somebody that can get me my damn starter. So we'll see where we're at tomorrow. And if they can't, well, then I'm going to call AAA again and get it towed another 100 miles. Okay, so what we're looking at here is probably one of the biggest clusterfucks of my career. Anyway, the car basically died on Route 80. And I really just was not anything I could fix on the side of the highway. Right now we're sitting in the back of a hotel in Youngstown, Ohio, and I had the car towed here. If you look right here, this is the first problem that happened. This belt is just completely just blown to shit. It broke while I was driving. I felt the steering go stiff. I lost my power steering, and I was like, oh shit, I wonder what happened. And so, you know, immediately assuming that it ran the water pump, I shut the car off. And just goes to the side of the road, got stopped, and you know, I was like, oh shit, it blew a belt. And originally I was gonna just start it up, and it was only another mile to another exit, so I was just gonna limp it to another exit. But the car didn't start. It didn't do anything when I turned the key. The starter wasn't letting the engine crank. So, don't know if we can get a good visual on it, but down below there, you can see real close, the starter wire is basically just completely cooked, and it grounded out on a brake line along with some other hot wire. And yeah, no, it overheated the starter, and the I'll take a look at that tomorrow when I get the starter out. But the starter blew to pieces. Basically, is the only way I could put it. I mean, it wasn't even something where I could try and mend it. I mean, the starter's like just in pieces. It's incredible. It blew the side of the starter apart. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of that. And luckily, there's a Pep Boys, an AutoZone, and an Advanced Auto Parts all within like a couple miles of this hotel. So tomorrow morning I'm going to get up nice and early and jump on my skateboard and go auto parts shopping. Hopefully I can get what I need, because I'm currently about 5, 6, maybe 7 hours from home in New Jersey. And my destination is 11th mile, Detroit, Michigan, and that's at least 3 or 4 hours away. And the closest nearby friend that can help me is another 110 miles from here, and he doesn't have a trailer. So unfortunately, I'm just kind of stuck here until I figure out how to get this car running, or if I AAA another tow tomorrow, which I'm not even sure if they can do. Either way, this really sucks, because I was trying to get to Roadkill Nights, which is tomorrow morning, And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty roadkilled right now, and yeah, this is not easy. And if anybody's wondering, no, I'm not running with a pack of people. I took this drive with just this car. There's nobody else with me, and I'm flying solo on this one, unfortunately. But gonna stay strong, stay positive, and go out, try and get my starter and whatever I need to repair this mess. And hopefully I'll be back on the road tomorrow and ready to get to the event before it's over. Otherwise, you know, if I can't get it running, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm pretty much gonna be screwed. But yeah, that's pretty much an update on this. Well, I'm mobile again. I got up this morning around 7:30, and I got on my skateboard and went a mile down to an auto parts store, and I got a bunch of electrical stuff, electrical tools, and fixed the wiring that shorted out the starter last night. Bought a new starter for the car, new belt, and I was fortunate enough to have a nearby friend that was able to come down to the hotel and give me a hand. And jacked up the car, was under it for about 2 hours. Replaced the starter, fixed the wiring, put a new belt on it, she cranked right over. So, see how far I can get. Currently at mile marker, I believe this is 228 in Ohio. We just left Youngstown, and we're basically Detroit bound again. Hopefully we make it. Well, stuck again. I was doing fantastic. I mean, I was motoring down the highway. Everything was phenomenal. And I stopped to get gas, shut the car off, went to go start it back up, and nothing happened. And I ripped out my diagnostics kits, and the starter that O'Reilly's sold me is completely dead. It does not work at all. I tried jumping it with a battery box. I tried hitting it. I was about to take it apart and try and rebuild it myself on the side of the road, but yep, nope, that's gonna have to just go through O'Reilly's window. So I'm now stuck at a truck stop in Toledo, Ohio. Scenic Toledo. And I'm literally like an hour, if that, from where I've got to be from my destination up in Michigan. And we're right on the Michigan border, almost made it. So I'm just waiting for another tow to show up, and then I'm gonna have to just go flip out at O'Reilly's tomorrow and see if they'll cover my tows, because this is kind of aggravating. But yep, that's kind of where I'm at now. Probably gonna go get some McDonald's or something. Well, there's the Lincoln. There's the next tow truck. There's Dave loading my car. Oh, fun, fun, fun. I love vacations. Alright, well, I landed in Michigan last night. I'm at my buddy's house. The Lincoln made it to its destination. So I'm going to replace the starter now at his house again. That's Talis. He's my buddy for today, my little helper. But yeah, no, we're gonna get the starter out. I found another O'Reilly's up the street, and we're gonna see if we can fix this stupid thing again. Hopefully they won't give me another bunk starter. So I got my starter out of the Lincoln, sitting on the floor back there, and she needed a jump, but this is gonna be the runaround car for my time in Michigan. It's gonna be the parts runner to fix the Lincoln. This is a 1978 Dodge Magnum. And basically, yeah, I traded the Lincoln for this car. I traded a Lincoln, gave him some parts and money exchanged hands and stuff, but in the end I ended up with a Magnum, which is good, because, you know, it's pretty cool. So yeah, we're gonna use this as the parts runner for the weekend. Get the Lincoln fixed, get that thing running, and be on my way. I believe we're just a little north of Detroit right now. I think this might be Royal Oaks, Michigan. All right, it's Monday. I've been here for about a couple days now. I got the car towed in because the first starter had died. Well, the first starter I replaced had died on the side of the Ohio Turnpike. So I had the car towed over 100 miles here to Michigan, where I got starter number 2. Starter number 2 from O'Reilly's is now in the car, and you know, I ran the wiring all nice. It's a pretty clean job. You know, nothing's touching anything. If you look close, I have some spark plug header protection around the wires, so that way they can hold up against the heat. I had at the O'Reilly's, I had actually purchased some special wire wrap that was supposed to protect it against heat, and it melted. It said it was flame proof, and it melted just from being close to the exhaust. It was about 2 inches from the exhaust, which should have been fine for it, considering it was flame protected. But no, that melted. That completely melted off the wires. So there was nothing protecting the wires again. Luckily they didn't get damaged, but still, I mean, the one thing that I purchased from them that should have corrected the problem from when this originally all started, yeah, that was absolute garbage. I installed this starter, and I went to start the car, and it's got a problem with the solenoid. And typically on a Ford, your solenoid will be on the firewall or on the fender. And this car's solenoid on this 72 Mark IV is on the side of the starter. It's not on the fender. So, because the solenoid's bad, I now have to replace the starter again. And O'Reilly's gave me a bad starter again. The first starter, it only started this car, or this first starter they gave me only started this car twice. So this starter, let's see if it'll act up again. Oh, no. See? That time it cranked, but let's see here. Yeah, when it does that clicking, that's not good. And when it cranks fine. Now I checked all the wiring. I don't have any loose connections. Everything's tight. I actually went and replaced the end on the wire, the main power wire going to the starter, just in case. So I'd gone over all this wiring before I had assumed that this starter was bad again, because I found it hard to believe that they gave me 2 bad starters. But apparently they did. And luckily for them, I'm not stranded on the side of the road, or I'd be really pissed. So I'm going to rip that starter out, and that's going back, and I'm not getting another one from them. I'm going to be trying to get my money back. And I also want them to cover my tow off the turnpike, as well as other expenses that costed me because of their defective garbage that they sold me, and I'll be going elsewhere now. So yeah, we'll get this starter out, take it back, and return it, get some money back. Alright, starter number 3 is installed. I got the car running, fired right up, everything worked like it should. I'm going to let it run for a little bit. I want to make sure the exhaust system doesn't melt my starter wires. And it's very close. We got some heat tape on that now. A little electric protection. It's all routed properly. The bracket's bolted down. So I wouldn't expect to find another problem there. But I went to the Advanced Auto Parts, and I got the new starter from Advanced Auto. I took the old one that had failed back to O'Reilly's, because that's the second one I got from them that failed. I made them take it back. I told them I didn't even want another one, which didn't even matter because they didn't even have another one in stock. So that's kind of where I'm at with this one now. But yeah, I'm going to let it run for a little bit and let it do its thing and make sure it's all right. Well, this is it. Filling her up with gas and getting out of here. This is the vehicle I'm using for my return trip. This is the 78 Magnum we picked up. So, just filling her up with gas right now, and we're going to leave Detroit, cross our fingers, and drive this baby all the way back to Jersey. That's it, we're leaving Detroit. We're on the freeway, we are out of here, back to Jersey. It's been a great week, but time to go home. So I just stopped and I had to do some work. The car was running a little weird. So I opened the hood, I smelled gasoline. Right over here, this hose was leaking gas everywhere. It's got a little tear right over here. So So just disconnecting these two lines, I pushed them together, moved the princip on the hose, leak stopped, and it had a float or something was stuck on the carburetor and it was running real rich. So I whacked it with a wrench, and yeah, it's fine now. Everything's perfect. So I'm going to throw the air cleaner lid on it, and I'm going to get motoring again. So I was able to correct the gas leak. It's still seeping just a little bit. So, you know, it's not that bad, but I'm only about like 20 or so miles from a friend's house out here in Ohio. So we're going to pull in over by him, since he's only about 10 minutes off of my trip. And he's going to hook me up with some fuel line and happy safe motoring after that. And it's one less thing I got to worry about on my way back. But aside from that, we're doing pretty good. And I think I'll probably be pulling into Jersey around 4 or 5 a.m. Left my buddy's place. The car's gas leak is now fixed. It's at 11 at night and we are motoring. We are on Ohio 2 East, heading back east. And hopefully I'll be home before the sun comes up. And the car's running pretty good. Temp gauge is sitting nice. It's cruising along, all the gauges look good. Got the radio going. So we're just gonna take a nice easy cruise back. Pulling off the highway. My petroleum level is dangerously low. And I'm kinda hungry. So we're gonna pull off here and get some gasoline. Running great. Oh, wow, what a trip. Good Lord, $49 for 17 gallons of gas. The hell's the world coming to? The upside, the car's running great. And I genuinely think that this time, I'm actually gonna make it. But we're only in Pennsylvania. We haven't even hit, or we're only in Ohio. I've yet to hit the Pennsylvania border yet. Still have about another 50 miles of that. So, yep, we gotta get out of here. Wow, what a surprise! Construction! Road trip this has been. Been driving all the way through the night. Car seems to be running okay now. I'm having some issues with the fuel delivery. Seems to be dying out when it's got to go over these big steep hills. But downhill and flat ground it seems to be fine. But yeah, it's having some serious issue pulling the hill. But as of right now, we're going downhill. We're done with all the hill climbing, so should be fine the rest of the way. Very, very beautiful out. The temperature is just amazing. The sky looks just phenomenal. It's really just quite incredible. As horrible as the driving through the night, being up all day the previous day can be, it's really quite amazing and rewarding when you get to watch the sun come up. But yep, I think I'll be rolling in around 7-ish, 6:30, 7 in the morning. Yep, that's pretty much that. Well, we're almost back into New Jersey, crossing the Delaware